Happy Friday, everybody. Happy Friday before the weekend. So excited to be at the end of the week. And unfortunately, walked into the office today and, excuse me, one of my staff informed me that it's supposed to snow this weekend. And they apologized to me because I know how much I am ready for winter to be over and how ready I am for 64-degree days to be the new normal. I am so ready for spring. And I'm sure many of you are with me. I am tired of the rain and snow and the cold weather, but it sounds like we're going to have another go with it this Sunday, unfortunately. So if you need any snow supplies for your pets, you know that we have those in stock. So come and see us. But today I wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about CBD and all the many benefits of CBD. We get asked about CBD for pets. It's probably one of the number one questions we get asked because it is so popular these days as an alternative to using medications. And it works wonderfully. But there's some things you really need to know about it and things that may be important for you as you start to use it with your pet to know how it works and why it works. And so CBD is derived from hemp and marijuana. However, it doesn't have THC, which is the psychoactive component to marijuana. So it's not, if you take it or if your pet takes it, you're not going to have that psychoactive response that you would get by taking marijuana itself. You're going to get the benefits of CBD, which are received into your body by the endocannabinoid system. And everybody's system is different. And so the amount each person and each dog needs to address each issue can be different. So any dosage that you see on any of these things is going to be a recommended dosage, kind of as a place to start. But you can always go up from there if needed, if you're not seeing what you are desiring. So if you're hoping to take your dog out of pain and you're not seeing the pain reduction, if you're hoping to calm your pet down and you're not seeing the calming reduction that you're wanting, you can always go up in the dosage. And what a little tiny Chihuahua may need might be a whole lot more than what a Great Dane needs because it just is very specific to that body and that system as to the dose that they need. So I have some products up here that we'll talk about and talk about some different delivery methods because there are a lot of different delivery methods for CBD. But first, I want to kind of cover some bases on what CBD is great for. Chronic pain is number one. And getting your pet off of medications like carprofen, tramadol, gabapentin, steroids, all of those medications are harsher on their systems and on their vital organs like their liver and kidney. So you want to not use them long term. That kind of medication is great for acute circumstances where you're trying to get the pain under control. But then the idea is always to transfer them over to something that is more natural and not going to be harsh to their body. So CBD is also great for lots of other different things. So allergies, and we had somebody who messaged us to our Facebook page this morning asking us about CBD for allergies. And one of my recommendations would be using a CBD with mushrooms for allergies. This is by Holistic Hound. But this broad spectrum hemp and mushroom oil is great for allergies. We also have this hemp and shroom. These are chews by Super Snouts. Great for allergy support. Also great for dogs who maybe have cancer or are fighting some kind of illness. Mushrooms are great for the immune system. So having the CBD in there with the mushrooms is a great option for immune systems. CBD is also great for calming, but you really want to have more than just the CBD on board for the calming effects. One of our favorites around here is this Chill Out by Super Snouts. And this is their 30 chew container. They also have a 60 chew container. And if you just want to try it out, they have what I have affectionately termed a shooter, which is just a little trial size. And it comes with 6 chews. in there. And I think this retails for like $7.99 or $9.99. But this is a great way to try it out and see if it works for your pet. I have some good friends with a dog named Norman who has really bad separation anxiety. So before they leave, they give him Chill Out about 30 to 45 minutes before they leave and put him in his kennel. And this seems to do the trick for him. It really, really helps with his separation anxiety. I give Chill Out chews to my dachshund who has really bad anxiety and tends to suffer from anxiety induced seizures. And I've noticed a big difference with her getting Chill Out. She's real anxious, doesn't like to be picked up a lot. She can get really scared. And so that has been a wonderful addition to her lineup to help her be a little bit more comfortable with all of us. I've even started seeing her play with toys, and we've had her for 7 years and never seen that. So that speaks volumes about how well that works. You guys have heard me talk about my dachshund mix named Mole, who is rather hateful. We got him from the animal shelter, knew that he had a storied past, and he was aggressive in my home. And would just have days where he would just sit on the chair and growl at us, and we really didn't know what was going on or what was causing it. After a few years, we really think that we've identified that maybe it is pain related and that he associates that pain with us, doesn't want us to touch him when he's hurting. So his mechanism is to defend himself and get into a position where he growls to keep us away. We have found this to be our saving grace. Super Snout's Hemp Plus joint. For whatever reason, this does the trick. I can't give him the Chill Out. He needs the Hemp Plus joint. And this is a really good place for me to tell you dosage is a suggestion. He is about 15 pounds. And so for him, the recommended dosage is half a soft chew per 25 pounds a day. He gets a chew in the morning and a chew at night. We have tried to cut back on that. We have tried to modify it. We've tried to give him half in the morning and half at night. We've tried every which way to modify that dosage. That is the only way it helps is if we give him a whole chew in the morning and a whole chew at night. And it works miracles. Without it, every now and again, I try to get brave and think, oh, he doesn't really need that. That's a crutch in my mind, not his. And I won't bring it home. And after about 3 days, I regret my decision, immediately run to the store and get a canister and start him up again. So we love Super Snout's Hemp Plus joint. They work miracles for Mole. So those are some delivery methods through Chews. And we have all different kinds of oils. I'm going to go over the oils last because that's probably what you guys are most familiar with. But one of my staff members dared me to do this, and she didn't believe I would. But this is a bar by Cradle. And Cradle is one of the CBD companies that we carry. And one of our staff members, Abigail, gives these to her Primrose and uses these for calming purposes. So I had somebody dare me that I wouldn't eat this on Facebook Live. It's one of my staff members, Valerie, and I told her I most certainly would. So this is by Cradle. It's peanut butter. That's not because of the bar that I'm coughing. I have a residual cough. But it has SAMe in it. And it has broad spectrum hemp extract. It's kind of chewy, but it's peanut butter flavored. And it's soft. And it is very peanut buttery. It's bland like most dog treats are. But Abigail swears by these Cradle bars for her Primrose. She says it calms her right down. So for small dogs, they would have about a third of the bar, 1 to 2 times a day. These also come in treat bags like this. And so you can get bulk bags. We do not currently carry these bulk bags, but I'm happy to bring them in if somebody's interested in them. We're just getting started with this company. We started out with them last year. And so we're just starting to get situated with some of their products. But these Cradle bars have CBD in them, great for calming. All of the Cradle products that I'm going to show you are really good for calming. Sue was asking, is there something good for anal glands? Sue, CBD is probably not what you need. It's a bit expensive for an anal gland issue. But we carry something by Herbsmith called butt bars. Those are great for anal glands. So if you wanted to come in and get those and try them, they can really help with the anal gland issues. We'll be happy to see you and help you with that. It absolutely, those Herb Smith butt bars work really well. We also have a couple of other options. You can talk with our staff about adding in some additional fiber to help with anal glands. Yeah, Emily says pumpkin. Pumpkin absolutely helps. So Sue, yes, come and visit us. We can help you out with that. Now, Cradle, one of the things that we love about Cradle, and this is the reason that we brought it in, is CBD in and of itself can be kind of bitter in flavor, and a lot of dogs don't like it because it is bitter. So they'll see you come in with the dropper or see you coming with it and run, hide, clamp their mouth closed, do whatever they can do just not to get that dropper in their mouth because it is pretty bitter. If you've ever tasted it, it's kind of bitter. And some of these oils have carrier oils like coconut oil that don't do anything to really mask the flavor. So Cradle has come out with a couple of different ways to delivery methods. So they have these things called melts. And I'm going to hold this up. Hopefully you guys can see this. I don't know if you remember, and they probably still make them, the Listerine packs that have the little sheets of Listerine that you just put under your tongue and they freshen your breath. Cradle has come out with a CBD quick calm melt that is the same philosophy. So it's CBD and like a little sheet of flavored melts that you put in their mouth. A great delivery method for the dog that really is affected by the flavor of CBD. Sue, the name of what I was talking about is Herb Smith butt bars. Funny name for a great product, but that can help with the anal glands. Okay, so Cradle has these melts, and they come in different sizes for different size dogs. No, that's the lovely thing about these delivery methods is they're wanting you and kind of encouraging you to give them with food. So they don't have to be given outside of food. Here's the other really cool thing. Excuse me, y'all. I was sick a few weeks ago and still have a residual cough. So this is I'm not sure. I'm trying not to make a mess. But this is a topper. It comes looking like this. And so what you're going to want to do, you can put it directly in their mouth, on their food, on a treat. But if you see that it's squeezing out the top, let's see if I can get it. I'm just not encouraging it to bust the seal, but you will break it in half like that, like I have done. There is a little seal that is open, and it's flavored. You can see it a little bit better that it's coming out more that way. I'm just trying not to make a big old fat mess. So it's kind of like a gravy, and it has the CBD in it, and you can let your dog lick it off. Just lick it directly off from there, or you can give it with a little bit of food. I would not give it with a full belly, Emily, just because you can tend to have to waste product that way. You'll have to give more than what they actually need if you're giving it with a whole lot of food. But that gives you a flavorful way to deliver the CBD. So that was one of the reasons that we brought in this company is we thought this is a great delivery method that maybe works for other dogs, for dogs who really struggle with other delivery methods, like the oils, or maybe don't like the treats, although my dogs really gobble them right up like they are the best things ever. But there are dogs who are very specific. So the one thing about this, though, is Cradle is really geared towards calming CBD. So if you're looking for CBD for calming purposes, is why you would use the Cradle products. They do have some other products that we don't carry, but again, I can get them for you if you're interested. Their number one product is these calming chews, that again come in like that shooter type style. And they have these chillers that are kind of a chew type hard bone, a hard chew for them to chew on, as you're going somewhere, if you want to give them something to occupy their time, but it's also really good at helping to calm. And again, has L-theanine in it. It has CBD, ashwagandha root, and it has that Botani Tech blend of CBD, which is really cool. So Cradle. If you're interested in any information about Cradle, I'm actually going to leave this up with my staff um, behind the registers up here at Battleground. You can read more about it. I have a lot of the pamphlets and how it all works. But it really is more geared towards calming animals. So if you have an anxious animal, if you have an animal with separation anxiety, if you have an animal that's just really struggling to calm down, um, or if you're having people over, Super Bowl, everybody, I'm having Super Bowl people over, and I'm going to have to find something to really calm my crew down. And so that would be what I would be looking to Cradle to help me with. So some other delivery methods would be creams and balms. Now, if you ever see my children out on the street, you can tell them this story. But if they get a cut, if they have a bump, if they have chapped lips, if they in any way have an injury, I pull out CBD balm. This helps. It's very much like an ointment, like a first aid ointment, but it is great for everybody's skin, your pet's skin. It is a topical way to deliver some CBD to that area for healing. And I love the Super Snouts Balm. We also have Canna Care by Pet Relief. It is more of like a lotion, a topical lotion. But again, a great delivery method. It's just transdermal, rub it on the skin, and it delivers CBD to the bloodstream. Great products, another great method, and use for injuries really more so than anything. But it is a transdermal way to deliver CBD. So now to go over some of the oils. I've already told you about the broad spectrum hemp and mushroom oil. Great for the immune system if you're needing immune boosting for allergies, but also if you have a dog with cancer, if you have a dog with ailments where it's needing some extra immune system jump, mushrooms are a great addition. I know we talk about mushrooms being poisonous for dogs, and I am not denying there are some mushrooms that are very poisonous for dogs and for people. So it is important to know that you're using mushrooms that are okay for dogs. Not all mushrooms are poisonous, and in fact, there are some that really have a lot of health benefits. Turkey tail in particular is wonderful, but there are lots of mushrooms that have medicinal purposes, and for both us and for our pets. So this is approved for use in pets and especially use in dogs. So don't be concerned about the addition of mushrooms. Now, Holistic Hound and a couple of the other lines now have an oil that's called CBG oil. Now, that is an isolate to the CBD compound that is a little bit more energizing. So CBD in and of itself is a little bit more depressing, calming, and a little bit sending a downer, basically. CBG, think of it a little bit more as an upper. So if you have an older pet, and this is really good for urinary issues, CBG is, but if you're looking for something that's not going to add to the lethargy of an older pet, CBG is a great product. So we carry that in Holistic Hound, the CBG, and it's an organic full spectrum CBG oil. I also we don't have it in stock at the moment, but I use an isolate by Super Snouts for my anxious girl because she has seizures. And it is an isolate that is known for being really good at calming, but also really good at addressing seizures. So, and it's in coconut oil. I've been using that with my seizure girl. So that is another use for CBD oil is seizures. And as Emily had mentioned a little bit further up in the comment thread asking about needing to use CBD oils outside of the window of food. You usually do. You're going to have your best results using it outside the window of a whole full belly. Now, if you need to put it on a treat to administer it to get them to eat it, that's okay. A little bit of food is okay. But what you're not wanting to do is fill their belly. Because what ends up happening is all the benefits that you get from these products really gets muddied in all of the digestion process, and it doesn't stay as concentrated. So you want it to be outside of feeding time, preferably before mealtime, back at least 45 minutes to an hour before mealtime. But we do have Pet Relief Liposomes, which is specifically designed to be administered with food. So there are some products you can give with food, but my recommendation really is that you're going to get your best results outside of feeding time. We also, for those of you with felines wanting something that is feline specific, this is really great. It is the perfect feline formula by our friends at Austin and Cat, and we love Austin and Cat. But this oil has cranberry because we know a lot of domesticated cats have urinary tract issues, and the cranberry helps add antioxidants to keep the urinary tract healthy. Um, so, and it adds an extra antioxidants as well. Again, because our kitty cats suffer so with their urinary tract. But let me tell you a miracle story about CBD oil in cats. We once had a customer who was coming to us, and she was coming to us about weekly, just out of her gourd, because her cat was using outside of the litter box, going potty outside of the litter box. And she had tried changing litter. She had tried changing food. She had tried changing boxes. She had tried adding boxes. She had tried the pheromones. She had tried literally everything that she could imagine that it could possibly be. And of course, we know cats use their potty habits a lot of times to communicate with us. But it's hard when what you're trying to communicate with can't tell you exactly what's going on. So, on an outside whim, she decided to use CBD oil. And it made all the difference in the world. And what she was able to really decode after she kind of started using the CBD oil and it started working is that her cat was having anxiety issues. And the CBD oil addressed that enough that then her cat felt comfortable enough to start going back into the litter box and didn't have any more potty problems after that. So I'm not saying with cats are really hard to decode sometimes, and sometimes you really have to cross things off the list. But this is something you could put in your arsenal if you're having problems with your cat as something to try for problem solving sake to help your cat. And Austin Cat makes this feline formula specifically for cats. And I believe the carrier oil is salmon oil, if I am not mistaken. Of course, I can't find it at the moment, but I do believe it is the carrier oil is salmon. Oh, it's sardine and pollock oil, so it's fish oil. So a great product for the kitty cats out there in our audience. And as I was saying, I love Austin and Cat. One of the things I love about Austin and Cat and their hemp oil is that it has pepperline, which is pepper, and pepperline is really good for helping with absorption. So I do love that about them. I also love that they're in coconut oil. So one of the things we really recommend for dogs that do have seizures is MCT oil. The addition of MCT oil can really help reduce the amount of seizures. We know that to be true in people too. And so it also translates over to animals. So having that addition of coconut oil on board with their CBD oil, I think is a wonderful thing for that purpose because of how I use it. But the piperline is added in for absorption and bioactivity, and it also has CoQ10, which is really good for the heart. And we all know that coconut oil is also good for the heart. So our friends at Austin and Cat, and Austin is a dog, and Cat is the owner, and she started this because her pet was diagnosed with cancer, and so she wanted some natural alternative ways to help her pet, help Austin with the side effects. We also have our friends from Green Coast Pet. We love their oils too. They have broad spectrum hemp oil. They are nice and affordable. They're a great company and a good baseline CBD oil. Nothing fancy added in necessarily, but you don't need anything fancy added in. The CBD does the hard work. So another great product, and they have different milligrams on them. So your directions for daily use on this, if I had a 5 to 25 pound dog, I would use 1/8 of a dropper of this 500 milligram dropper. Now, you can get different milligrams, and different milligrams, you're going to use different dosages. But again, like I was saying, if you have, say, a dachshund that needs a stronger milligram, they need a stronger dose, you might want to go up to a higher milligram. A 5 to 25 pound dog is going to take 1/4 of a milligram of this 250 milligram hemp oil. So just know about the mix and matching on that. You can give small dogs the 500 milligram, but you want to kind of consider how long it's going to be around. You don't want it to go rancid. And you also want to consider how much they really need for their whatever you're trying to address for them. Because you don't want to be giving them too much because it's wasteful and expensive if you're overdosing them. It's not going to hurt them necessarily because it is a natural product, but you just really don't want to give them more than you have to because you don't want to spend that extra money. So those are some of our products. We have a ton more treats on the wall. We have a ton more products behind the counter at both store locations. So we have lots of different offerings for you. I'm sure there is something here that we have for your pet to address their specific needs. But I would encourage you to give it a try. And whenever somebody says to me, one of the very often questions I get asked about CBD, I'll say, oh, I love CBD. I always recommend it for that. And somebody will say, yeah, I tried it, but it didn't work. And I said, well, how long did you try it? You do want to give it some time. You want to give some time, not because it needs to build up in their system. The truth of the matter is it's out of their system in 8 to 12 hours. But you want to give some time to really judge if it's working. You also want to make sure you're adjusting the dosage. So if you don't see results, you definitely want to increase the dosage. So what I would recommend is taking the recommended dosage, dividing it into, and adding a whole half of another dose about 30 to 45 minutes after the original dose if you're not getting your desired results, and keep testing that result. It is totally how we found what worked for Mole, was testing the dosage for him and not necessarily taking the dosage on the side and then saying it doesn't work. Because if I was giving him half a chew a day, let me tell you, it wouldn't have worked. We would have moved on. But we played with a little bit because I really felt like his issues were derived from pain. So I really encourage you to find the right dose and the right product for your pet that is going to work for their issues. All of my staff know about CBD. They'll be happy to help you and happy to direct you to what's going to work. Most of the products do have a buyer guarantee. So if you buy it and it really isn't working, or your pet doesn't like the taste, or the bitterness is making them foam at the mouth, you can bring it back and get your money back. But we really do encourage you to keep trying and finding the product that's going to work for your pet, because CBD is a lifesaver. For those of us who have pets that have really been saved by it, it is a lifesaver. Emily, how do you know if it's gone bad? It will have a smell, a more distinctive smell to it. Just like if an oil goes bad, you know when an oil is rancid. But whenever you open these products and they start to be exposed to air, and get exposed to their saliva or get exposed to other things, you'll be able to smell the rancidness of the oil. But exposing it to air, and a lot of these are in darker jars like this to protect them from light so they don't break down in light. But I would recommend, you really don't want an oil that's been open more than about 6 months. You don't want to be administering that. It's not probably going to hurt your pet, but it's not going to be very effective. So you want something that's going to be nice and effective. It will lose its potency, just like medication does. It will lose its potency. Well, does anybody have any additional questions or any other ways in which they are curious about CBD? We can definitely help you with your CBD questions. I would say calming, anxiety, and pain relief are kind of the 3 ways in which we see people seeking CBD the most. But there are other ways in which it can be used and should be used for your pet, or for you, like skin abrasions and things like that. There are so many other ways to use CBD. So if you have questions, please continue to post them here. We'll answer them for you, or you can message us. I want to give you one word of caution. There's a lot of legality, as you might expect, because CBD does have to do with the marijuana plant. It actually comes from the male marijuana plant as opposed to the female, but you definitely cannot easily find these products on our website, though they are there. My recommendation would be to search for the term oil. Unfortunately, we cannot use terminology CBD. We cannot use the terminology hemp. And so we are very limited by the legalities of the internet and the legalities of all of those things. It's perfectly legal to sell. It's not contraband, but it is unfortunate how we have to go about listing it and advertising for it, because of all of the legalities surrounding marijuana. So when you're looking for it on our website, search for oil and you might come up with it that way. You can also search for these company listings in particular. So you could go and look at Austin and Cat and see everything we have available for Austin and Cat. You could go and look at the company listings for Cradle and you could find it that way. So I know that it's really hard to find on our website. Unfortunately, we cannot do anything about that. And but it is there and we will deliver it to you. You can order it for curbside delivery, all those things. It is definitely there. Just make sure you look for it. And if you have trouble or questions, you can always call us and get somebody on the phone. We'll always be happy to answer your question or take your order over the phone as well. But these are wonderful products. CBD, I can't say enough great things about them. Just wonderful, wonderful products, and they've helped so many pets. And if you have a pet that has been positively affected by CBD, we would love to hear your stories and love to hear what products helped you out. Sue, thank you for joining. I'm glad we can help you out. And please do come in and see us about your pet that has anal gland issues. That is never a fun issue to deal with, and we're happy to help you with that. But Emily, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all of you who are watching our Facebook Lives and keeping up. And I would tell you there will be good reason to keep up with our Facebook Lives come March, because we're going to have a game show and kind of review some of the things we've been talking about. So definitely make sure you joining in with us on the game show, because of course we'll have prizes and lots of fun things to give away. So thanks everybody. Have a lovely weekend. Hope you enjoy the Super Bowl, and we will see you back here at both store locations on Monday. For Valentine's Day, we will be hosting our annual Share the Love, and 20% of our pet food and supply sales will be donated back to local rescue organizations in the form of pet food and supplies, so that our rescue organizations don't have to purchase pet food for their foster dogs and can focus their funds more towards medical care and give them a bit of a reprieve on having to buy supplies. So shop with us, and 20% of your sale will be donated back to our local rescue organizations. And that is put on by both our stores and by our manufacturers. They partner together with us to make this a big event, and we love doing it. We will also have Dylan's Hearts here with us at the Battleground location, selling some of their adorable heart gifts. And they make great Valentine's gifts. If you have a Valentine that you're seeking a wonderful present for, they have some adorable things. So visit us at that Battleground location to see our friends from Dylan's Hearts. And make sure that you purchase pet food from us on Monday. You can order it online. Online orders count too. So in-store, online, support us on Monday so that we can support these local organizations and give back big to them. Thank you guys. Have a lovely weekend, and we will see you next week.